again. Okay, it says I'm live. Oh, it's back. All right, check, test. YouTube. YouTube, are you there? All right, cool. All right, thank you. Okay, looks okay to me. I mean, even if people don't know much on YouTube, I like to do this because it's free disk space, right? It just records every word for me, and if I would save it on my own PC, I think I talked about this. It just is gigabytes after gigabytes used for no reason. Gotta use the free storage. All right. I don't know. I don't think there's much to talk about. There will be more thematic content in the future. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have nothing prepared today. I'm surprised you don't have a home server. Good question. I mean, I think I should have. I was thinking about buying a couple of terabytes of home clouds, but I don't know why I did not yet. Nah. I mean, there's YouTube who saves all my stuff, so for now I'm okay. It's really just for not clunking up my disk space because game updates just there's so much. Sometimes game updates are like 30-40 gigabytes each after every major patch. What do we even want to check out now? YouTube being the best friend. It's crazy how they provide so much disk space for free. Wow. In exchange for your information. And I mean, I guess the business trade-off is I make you stick on the platform, make you watch and stick to the platform, and they provide me disk space for that. Let's check out this web video.
Hypergriff dropped the.
Oh my god, what is this color? Why is it so red? All right. Wait, what? What is this? Is it like this? No. Why is the color so bad? Is it?
Finalized gacha details for Arknights.
Is it his video? No! Oh wait. It's because of my HDR monitor, I just realized. I have to turn down HDR then. Yeah, I hate this. Sometimes it does weird things with the colors. Let's turn down HDR. Oh my god, look! This looks so more natural now. The colors are fixed. Whoa. Wow. Yeah.
Arknights Enfield, and it is a lot to take in. We've got free pulls, carryover rules, some non-carryover rules, and it's just... The long short of it is, if you want to guarantee a character, just save 120 pulls and never build pity, because that pity will not carry over. And that's basically it. But if you want to know the ins and outs
Okay.
of Enfield's gacha system as it's currently laid out, then keep watching. And
Wait, I have the background music still on. Gonna pause this. I like the floating microphone, by the way.
at the end, I'll give my thoughts on this whole thing. So with that being said, my name is Ryuku Sensei, and this is the Arknights Enfield gacha system breakdown. First, let's start with the easy one, which is the beginner banner, referred to as the New Horizons headhunting banner. Pulls for this special banner can only be acquired through doing new player events and missions. After a total of 40 pulls, you are guaranteed to get a 6-star standard banner operator, as well as a 6-star standard weapon of your.
Okay, so the background music was from the video. That was so confusing me, dude. I thought I was running a game in the background somewhere.
Choice. Which one you choose is of course completely up to you, but I would recommend picking whichever weapon that goes with the character that you chose. As for which character to choose, again, that's completely up to you, but just be aware that everyone is getting an Ardelia and her weapon for free on launch after logging in for a total of 14 days.
Yeah, we know.
So now with that out of the way, onto the real meat and potatoes where things start getting a little confusing. We're looking at 3 banners per patch, each lasting about...
Is this the first? After start of the official release until February 7th. Of course they start out with Searcher. Oh my god. So what's her game? Her name is Gilberta. For some reason I always have Angelina in my head. It's not Angelina. Who am I talking to? It's Gilberta. And then we have Yvonne. So the original banner was in the beta, of course, it's just for testing, right? And we had Surgeon and then Yvonne, and this character we got for free. Now we don't get her for free, and we get the other character instead. So yeah, that's that.
2 weeks, which isn't that long, but Enfield has
She's
another
sick.
system in place to give you
really cool.
another chance if you miss
I think
them the first time round.
there are different types of archetypes. Like not everyone here is human, of course. They have horns, right? I don't even know what kind of archetype Surtur is, or Levitain, your name. But I know there are dragons. So there's going to be a dragon type you were going to meet very early on, but you can see that from the horns. She also has a big tail.
I know, right? It's another system, but I'll explain that later. First, the basics. Characters, or operators, are pulled using a premium in-game currency called Ouroboros. 1 pull costs 500 Ouroboros, meaning a 10 pull costs 5,000. And here are the base odds for the characters. You have a 91.2% chance to pull a 4-star,
Sure.
an 8% chance to pull a 5-star,
Sure.
and a 0.8% chance to pull a 6-star, which is the highest rarity.
Okay. The 4-star are the 3 stars, the 5-star are the 4 stars, and the 6-star are the 5 stars in Genshin terms, in HSR terms, right? However, a lot of 4 or 5-star characters are a little bit better than what you would get from the regular 4 stars, and it's like the 6-star in Arknights always has been the premium one, but that does not mean they're really better. It's just they're more rarer. Like 5-star is actually a 5-star value
In this game. And just like most other gacha out there, Enfield gives us a few safety nets which are called pity, which guarantee you a character after pulling a certain amount. The problem being that Enfield's pity rules are a little complicated and are probably the reason that you are watching this video in the first place. Okay, so there are 4 main layers of pity for characters. The first is a 10 pull guarantee, meaning that every 10 pulls you are guaranteed at least 1 5-star.
Yeah.
This pity carries over between banners too. So say you pull 5 times on one banner, don't get a 5-star, and then the banner changes. You are guaranteed to get a 5-star within the next 5 pulls on that new banner. The
Yeah.
second layer of pity is called soft pity.
Yeah.
Once you hit 65 pulls without a 6-star, your odds jump by 5% every single pull
That's
until you hit one.
crazy,
until
right?
65 pulls, you only have a 0.8% chance to get a 6-star, as I mentioned before. Then at 66 pulls, that becomes 5.8%. Instead of 0.8. At 67 pulls, it becomes 10.8.
Like,
then 15.8, then 20.8.
Isn't it crazy? Right? Isn't it crazy? There's there's no way we're not going to. We have to hard pity this to 120. It's
25.8 and so on and so forth until you eventually get a 6-star operator. And then after you get a 6-star, this pity counter resets to 0. However, if you're super unlucky, like me, you could pull 79 times and still not get a 6-star character. And if that happens, this is when the third layer comes in called hard pity.
Yeah, the 120.
Hard pity is at 80.
Actually, 80.
Meaning that if you get to that point, then you are guaranteed 100% to get a 6-star character. Crucial note that this 80 pull counter does carry over to the next banner.
So it's exactly the same.
If you
as
do get a
Woowa.
6-star character, it is not guaranteed to be the one on the banner because there is a 50-50 system, meaning you have a 50% chance for the featured character and 50% chance for someone else. And like I said, this 80 pity counter does carry over between banners. So if you pull 30 times on one banner, you will still be at 30 pity on the next banner to get a 6-star character. Okay, now everything I've said so far is very standard for many gacha actors. So any roving travelers that are trailblazing through these games are already very familiar with everything I've just described. But here's where the fourth layer of pity comes in. So you go through all the way to hard pity and pull a 6-star, but you miss your 50-50 and get someone else. The general pity has reset, so you're back.
Stop. Fourth layer of pity, the limited character pity. Only for limited characters. Pull a 6-star at 80 pity, but miss the 50-50. 80 pull pity counter resets. Makes sense because you already pulled the 6-star. You already got a 6-star and you missed the, like, okay, this is what I expected. Right? It just resets after a 6-star. Even if you miss the pity. Even if you miss the 50-50.
0.8% chance for each pull to get a 6-star character, and things go on as normal. However, after a total of 120 pulls on that banner, you are guaranteed to get that featured 6-star operator.
That's not too complicated. It's like regular standard HSR, not HSR. We have until 90 there. Woowa, like you regular gacha system that you would know from more modern games, popular games. Just with the fact that even if you lose 50-50 or it doesn't matter. After 120 you get the character. That's what I get. That's what I understand. Right? So
guaranteed to get that featured 6-star operator. It must be pointed out that if you miss your 50-50, you are not guaranteed the featured limited character the next time you get a 6-star. Not until you hit that 120 pull counts.
Yeah, okay, so the point is, it does not guarantee after you lose the 50-50, it does not mean the next one is going to be the guaranteed one. This is the UMA treatment that we already know. You can pull a 3-star UMA 6 times. It's not limited. We're like, we know that, we have that. So it's we're used to that. But 40 more than 80, so 120, and you get the character. Wait. So the 120 is not part of the pity counter, because the pity counter resets from 80 to 0, because I was thinking there's no way you would get to 120 before. So the 120 is just the total pulls that you have done. That's not part of the pity. Okay. And it has to be on the same banner too.
So you could be at 0 pity, do a temple, and hit a double, triple, or whatever if you're really lucky, and every one of them could miss the 50-50. So you have to think of it as each banner having 2 counters. One is just the general get a 6-star within 80 pulls counter, and the second is a miss the 50-50 but get the banner character within 120 pulls counter. That's a really long way of saying it, but that's basically what it describes. I'll give a couple of examples to illustrate. Say you get lucky and pull a 6-star character early at 30 pulls, but you miss your 50-50. The pity resets, you continue pulling, go to hard pity at 80, and have a guarantee to get another 6-star character. The next example is you pull 60 times and once again you missed your 50-50. The regular pity counter resets, but the featured banner counter does not. It still stays at 60, which means that after another 60 pulls, even though you haven't hit the soft pity, so each pull is still only at 0.8% chance.
To be fair, I don't follow anymore. I have no idea what he's talking about. I just conclude that you just pull when you have 120. That's what I get.
To get a 6-star, on that 60th pull, you hit that max on that special 120
Yeah, it's
counter.
It's two counters. It's like the 120 counter, like the total pulls to get the 6-star, and then there's the regular pity counter that you know of. That resets at hard pity 80.
So you are 100% guaranteed to get the character. Then
So the
120
technically doesn't it doesn't reset when the pity resets. You know what I mean? It just counts the amount of pulls you've already done. This is the similar counter that we have on Umar, where you it tells you like how many pulls you have done. Like this is the same counter. After 120 instead of 200, you get the character.
resets to 0.
Except there is no pity, actual pity in between pity in Uma.
The 80 pull pity, which does carry over, this 120 pull counter does not carry over.
Yeah.
If that banner ends and you're at 110 pulls, that guaranteed banner counter resets to 0.
This is exactly like Uma, because in Uma we also don't get the carryover. So short pulls are carried over to the next banner, but if you waste your points, you reset from 80 to 0 for the next banner will not apply for the 120 pull thingy. Exactly, like the 120, like total pull counter, it does not reset. It does reset for the next banner, but it does not reset if you pull a 6-star. It's just it counts the total of pulls. If you got 120, you get 6-star for that featured banner. If you have pity, that like the inherent like 80 pity, that actually carries over the next banner, but not the 120 one. It's two counters essentially.
You still have the 6-star character counter pity. As I said at the beginning of the video, only pull for the limited character if you have enough to hit that 120 mark.
They will.
Okay,
I think the game will tell you like how much you have pulled and everything. You don't have to keep mental check of it. Like you don't have to count your pulls like in Hoyo games. It tells you how many pulls you have done.
Weapons. These use arsenal tickets, which you can actually earn just by pulling for characters. Pulling a 4-star gives you 20 tickets. 5 stars give you 200.
Woo.
And 6-star characters give you 2,000 tickets. So with every 10 pull on the character banner guaranteeing at least 1 5-star and 9 4-stars, that means you'll always get at least 380 arsenal tickets per 10 pull, or 20,000 if the game bugs out and you somehow pull 10 6-stars. Weapon rates are much better at 4% for a 6-star and a guaranteed 6-star at 40
This is
pulls.
so generous.
However,
dude.
This is
Oh my God.
not a 50-50 system.
Yeah, but
At
that's
40
fine,
pulls,
because
you have a 100% chance to get a 6-star weapon.
There is a pulling system there, but don't worry. After a certain amount of pulls, you collect currency from pulling the weapon banner from the banner, and then you can just buy the weapon from the shop if they rotate it. It's just not a big
but it
big
is
deal.
only a 25% chance that it will be the featured weapon. But you are guaranteed to get the featured weapon at 80 pulls.
Weapons are so
think of it
good
this
here.
way. The weapon banner has a guarantee at 80 pulls and a freebie 6-stars somewhere before then. So in many respects, this is actually better than a lot of other weapon gachas out on the market right now. You could also convert arsenal tickets into arsenal issues. Basically, one arsenal issue is the same as doing one temple. The benefit of doing this is that after doing 10 issues, so 100 pulls, you get a free standard weapon selector, and at 18 issues you get the featured weapon. Then the standard weapon at 26, featured weapon at 34, and so on. What this means is that at 180 pulls, you don't just have 2 copies of the featured weapon, but also 2 standard 6-star weapons too. Or if you get lucky on that 40th pull, then 3 copies of the featured weapon and 1 standard. There was a thing in the beta that allowed players to avoid the gambling entirely, where you could save up enough arsenal tickets to just buy a standard weapon from an in-game store, but I don't remember seeing that mentioned in the live streams.
Don't tell me they have removed that. This is exactly what I mentioned. What was good about the weapon thingy? If they have removed that, oh my God.
So I don't know if that system is still in place. I assume it is, but I just thought I'd mention it anyway.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it's in the game, because that would make our lives so much easier.
I must mention that no, pity carries over from the weapon banner, so
That's
save
fine.
up and be prepared to.
Pity is so low
commit if you
anyways.
Really
It's only
want that
40.
weapon. Okay, that's all the general stuff explained, but there is more. Throughout all of these banners and pity systems, there are freebies that Hypergriff included. For example, after 300 pulls on this standard banner, you will get a select designation ticket, which is basically just a character selector for anyone on the standard banner, either Ardelia, Pogranishnik, Last Rite, Ember, or
How did you pronounce the name? Pogranishnik.
Last Rite.
Pogranishnik. Oh god.
Ember or Li Feng. And on the limited banner at 60 pulls, you get a free temple for the next limited banner. This is a one-time freebie per banner, so you must use it on the next banner or it expires, meaning you can't save up a bunch of them and use them.
They want you to pull on every banner.
There's also this urgent recruitment thing you get after 30 pulls. Basically, this is a free temple for the current banner that does not count toward either of the pity counters. However, there's this thing with the ticket that if you use it and you get a 6-star character, it still does not reset the pity.
Ooh, the
so
backshot of
example,
Surtur.
you pull 30 times and then you get this ticket. So you're at 30 pity, and then after you use this ticket, you get lucky and pull a 6-star character. Even then, you are still at 30 pity on both of the counters, which is pretty good in my opinion. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that banners only last about 2 weeks, which isn't all that long.
No.
However, you still have a chance to pull for them. Here's how it was shown on the live stream. For the first banner, Levitan is the featured character, but if you miss your 50-50, you have a chance of getting a standard character or one of the other featured characters for that patch, which is Gilberta and Yvonne in this case, meaning you could actually get them before their banner comes around.
What? What? Hey, we don't have to wait for patches after patch. We could just get lucky immediately and get like the the character immediately. We can get the bond the first banner. What? What? Nani? Nani?
Then when Levitan's banner ends, she gets put into that list of possible operators you can get if you miss the 50.
Okay, so it's like a pool of limited characters where you can get them in all of these featured. This is nice. Man, this is typical Arknights stuff.
And then so on for Yvonne. After 3 banner cycles, they are taken out of that pool. So in the 4th banner, Levitan isn't there, but Gilberta and Yvonne are. So to wrap everything up, save for 120. Do not go for a limited character unless you can hit that 120 pull safety net. Only the 80 pull 6-star pity carries over to the next banner. And then use your Arsenal tickets you get from the character pulls to buy Arsenal issues.
I mean, you know how it is. I will pull whenever. It doesn't matter.
When pulling for weapons. But just like the limited banner, do not spend your premium currency unless you have enough to guarantee it, because that pity does.
Okay, so the reality is you will probably accumulate a lot more weapons than you have characters for. Cool. But I don't know. I think you need a little bit more weapons because the... I mean, you don't need it, but there is an enhancement system for the weapon that requires duplicates. But you will get them very quickly over time, you will notice. But that's also why they probably made it so easy to get it, because you need multiple copies sometimes. Depending on which character you play, these weapons are interchangeable, of course. It's not where this weapon specifically activates a special effect only on that character, like we have in light cones for HSR characters. Yeah, you can pull whatever weapon fits. I think as long as the weapon, of course, can be equipped to the operators. Are they called like that? I forgot. The characters, then it's fine. For me, it's just I just need a blunt weapon. I just need a big weapon for my panda, and that's it.
Not carry over. Overall, this system rewards planning. With 3 banners per patch and that 120 pull use it or lose it guarantee,
3 banners per
you really
patch.
want to pick when and where you use your pulls. My opinion is that I think this system is rewarding for players who can save. On the whole, I think you get more premium characters and weapons on average compared to other games with similar pity systems with a bunch of selectors being built.
Tell me a gacha game where it's not rewarding to not save. Like, of course, dude, you get rewarded always when you save. But I get what you're saying. You get more 6 stars on average compared to other gacha games if you save and then only pull when you gain guarantee.
Into the gacha system itself. It's just that the 120 pity guarantee and the weapon pity not carrying over between banners has a lot of people hesitant, and understandably so. If you're the type that likes doing a pull here, a pull there just to test your luck, this system is definitely not for you, as you could go multiple patch cycles constantly getting one of the off-banner characters if you're constantly missing the 50-50.
I get it.
But
Okay.
if you're the type that saves pulls, then I think you'll be plenty happy. I'm actually really curious to know what people's strategy is when it comes to pulling in Enfield, so let me know down in the comments below. One thing I really want to try is with that urgent recruitment ticket. I mentioned it doesn't reset the pity, right? I was wondering if I could get real close to hard pity, take advantage of the increased rates and from the soft pity, and then use that ticket. I wonder if it will give me more 6 stars if I did that. Or
that's actually a good way. I don't think it does, because if it doesn't affect the pity, it means it's also exempted from the pity increased rates. So that means the extras is just extra with a separate rate up, with separate rate up numbers.
if the rates are set as if I was at 0 pity.
Yeah,
and then
it is.
after I use that ticket, possibly get my 6 star, and then I could continue on and get...
That would be crazy if that was the
I
case.
don't
I don't think
how
so.
it will
I
play
don't
out.
think so.
It's just,
No.
Like, nothing is confirmed. It's complete speculation.
No.
It's just like...
It's just
I
the way
want to
how
try.
it's
That's
how
that's
it
one of my
works.
particular strategies for the pulling.
Because it
At least until we figure
doesn't count
if
towards
that's
pity. It doesn't
how
get the
things will
pity
play out.
bonus.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that greatly supports the channel, and I will have more videos like this on Enfield coming in the future.
Alright,
so
thank you.
until next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.
I gotta give it like. All right. I mean, Arknights always has been a free to play. I don't know how free to play this one is. I'm probably sure it's like super free to play. I don't think that a lot of people will save anyways, right? Just inherently, a lot of people like to pull because they want to pull. And you're surprised at like how much you can get by not saving, by actually just pulling whenever. Like I got a lot. I really got a lot in the beta, but we also got like extra pulls for free for experience. So I kind of really compare it, but I got every 6 star and no problems. And you're way happy in kids, and I just feel like pulling, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I used to be the person that save pulls and really save up and strategize. Eventually I did not, because it does not really matter much unless you really want to save for a character. Then I usually do save a little bit. But the way my HSR count has like almost all the 5 stars is because I pulled on all of them. So I took the chances, right? So I kind of was I'm happy with it. So it's not that you have to spend money on the game, though. I feel the game gives you so much. I don't even know what the packs. Did anyone go over the shop? I don't know. We know yet because the game is not out. We have to see. But from what I know, Arknights shop has always been very, not generous, but it was very fair. It was fair. All right. Only plan for Uma the Red. I just got that true. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what people expect. I think the gacha is fine. Like I feel it's so fair. What do you think? Because I feel that no matter what, you are rewarded for saving, and you are also rewarded for just pulling, because the rates are just so high, and just like, why and not only the raids, but you get weapon tickets that you can use to get the weapon if you need the weapon, right? Then you just have to pull for characters anyways. So you don't have to split your barrel between weapons and the character. I think that's a lot of people are just overlooked that. This is genius. This is really good. I like how the game turns the table on the gacha system. Yeah, I love that they're trying something new. So they still have... So they're getting rid of the 50-50 and making sure that So they're trying out with a different system. But the reality is that the 50-50... So if you put it into numbers, right? And let's say you have... let's use Genshin as an example. You have 90 hard pity, soft pity 74, I think, and you would technically need 180 to guarantee the limited feature, right? If you lose the 50-50 on the 90 hard pity, which is very rare that you will do that. And that's what I mean. I think the odds are so much more into your favor that you would get the 6-star earlier, or even if you hard pity, you will not hard pity again. So technically it cuts down the 80 total pity from Arknights to so that what they did is like 80 plus 40, right? That's how they get to the 120, and then you get the character. It's the same as in Genshin as getting the character both in... So going to 60 pity, losing the 50-50, and then going to 60 pity again. And 60 is before soft pity, by the way, right? Or it's the equivalent of going to soft pity, let's say 75, and let's do quick math real. 120 minus 75. It's the same as going to soft pity 75, lose the 50-50, and then just pull for another 45, and then you're there already, right? So you don't need the... Like, it's... You know, you can get the character and you win the 50-50 with it, that's fine. But if not, it's not that big of a deal because 120 pity means that you are not going to have to hard pity twice, and it's fine. It's actually very fair. It's just 40 more points. Yeah. Okay. Enough math. What are we doing now? I think I'm going to end it sooner. We will have another stream tomorrow anyways. We will go into either Arknights if I find the account information, or just do random stuff again, but I'm trying to get into the account. Because Thursday we will be on the main channel doing Arknights stuff. For this channel, I specifically have planned doing more random videos. I will post them whenever I want, but I definitely want to have a little bit of content here. Yeah. Tomorrow we pull for Tamamo. We could. Yeah. Yeah, it's 20 seconds. It's about the time when the cup is when we have the cup. It's on Arknights Day. We can run Uma next to Arknights anyway, so yeah. we do the oh, I forgot the cup. Secretary's Cup real quick, and then move over to Arknights. Something like that. Boop. I think I should create a second scene to switch, so I have to manually edit this one. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, in the bottom here, this is my green screen. We have a huge chessboard, like an actual expensive huge chessboard. We can play chess. I could play chess with Chad. IRL. Well, we can also use chat.com. I'm really bad at chess, by the way. I can get my fiance to play chess. She's really good at chess. She actually played chess in a club and got really far. No, I'm bad at chess. Every 900 800 elo will beat me. I'm really bad. I'm okay with the openings, but the mid game where the actual game is, I just lose everything. I just lose advantage. I blunder too much. I also play for that's when I played chess also in the 5th grade, and then I stopped playing. Yeah, everyone is on chess.com. I think everyone has a chess.com account. I don't know anyone who's on the internet that didn't play chess on chess.com. Eventually you did once, right? Oh, let's put on the background music again. Was the only thing unblocked at school. I mean, it's very fair. So, good thing the school blocked websites. I remember we had a super smart guy. Like, I have a super smart friend in computer class. And while we were working on computer, because the computer were all connected to a network, he was able to access certain... So he could basically shut down the other computers remotely, right? So sometimes for fun, we just shut down random PC and pretended to not knowing anything. That was fun. Yeah, I don't know. Like all the computers were connected to the same network, and for some reason we were able to. Oh, he was able to shut them down from from remote. Also, while the teacher wasn't looking, everyone was playing games, and then when the teacher was looking, we opened up all our IDs that develop the interfaces. I'll tap, yeah, true. I honestly doubt anyone really learned a lot, like in terms of programming. Those who were already fond of it already did it, and they were all like, I think they were all there just for the computers. Everyone was just Windows tab, yeah. And we back then, it was Windows 7. I don't know if Windows 7 had workspaces. I don't know, but I know Windows 10 had workspaces, I think. So you could entirely just switch to a different one. Yeah, I don't know if our teacher could ever see the screens on our computers. I never know. We always ask ourselves if he could. True. Computer science was good until I had to write Python on paper. True. So we were learning about I think it was Java, right? Like super like it's not, it was JavaScript. It's Java, right? Computer language. So testing, like writing tests and not being able to debug on paper was a nightmare. Because it was a language where every semicolon matters and you cannot really make anything wrong, because Python is a little bit more fair in that sense, right? But other programming languages are not, so you cannot miss even a semicolon at the end of the line and other things. I don't know, maybe I don't remember, but I think I'm pretty sure the tasks were very easy. But it's just the fact that you had to do this on paper and not actually write out, and not being able to debug the code to test out that it works or not. Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone has a little bit of HTML standards. I am actually a learned front end dev too, so I do know about like the advanced things about HTML. And there's more to that too. There's a lot more to it. But nowadays everything is getting standardized anyway, so you don't really have to think about tags and anything else anymore. Your CV is probably stacked. Do you? I'm not going to show my CV because just because of personal information. I don't know, but I'm just going to check out my CV and see like what I have written there because I don't remember. And now I'm curious too because I don't know. I also have to what's it called? Update it. Okay, so I'm reading my CV right now. It's in German anyways. You cannot. So I can speak German, English. I have some project management skills in team lead, agile methods, Scrum, business consultation, technical documentation, analytical thinking, debugging, systematical, debugging. Okay, blah 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 blah. I know about the Creative Suite, so Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator. I use DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, Figma, Canva, OBS, of course. Of course, all the Office applications, super simple, right? Microsoft 365, like Word, Excel, things like that. Google Workspace, that's basically the same. Slack, Trello, Notion, HubSpot, everything. I know about Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And here's what gets interesting. So frameworks and libraries, I have written down React, Next.js, so app router, server components, server action, Angular. Angular is interesting. I know about signals, dependency injection, routing, TypeScript. Okay, TypeScript is like the thing right now. I mean, if you know TypeScript, you can do a lot. So it's basically just JavaScript with more strict type rules, because JavaScript assumes typing, and you can change the variable typing from integer to a string depending on the context of the variable that you save into it. It's so messed up. So that's why they developed TypeScript, because it literally just says, hey, you gotta announce like this variable is gonna stay this type throughout the whole thing. But JavaScript is just not, right? So I think we should have done this in the beginning anyways. HTML5, CSS3, they all go together. It's all one thing. For styling, Tailwind, some CSS modules, of course like Flexbox, CSS Grid, responsive designs, which is very huge because everyone will ask you for responsive design, which is not that big of a deal. I know about React hooks, context API, React queries, of course SEO optimization, Postgres. Okay. Databases is very interesting. So I used to do a lot of work in Postgres, SQL. I still don't today. I don't know how to. Is it Postgres SQL? I think people said something different. So MySQL, so MySQL and SQL Server, SQL Server, right? I know about ER modeling, normalizing, some optimization performances. I know about some backend stuff like server actions, API routes, middleware. Oh yeah, middleware. I've also worked in these things quite a few back then. Authentication, authorization. Git and GitHub, so version control is super important. Of course, I know about. I don't know why I put in all the little things in my CV. Why did I mention every single detail? npm yarn vite webpack jest vite cypress playwright for testing. I deploy on Vercel. I know about CI/CD pipelines, so continuous development integration. I usually use Visual Studio Code and I know Python, at least the basics and the PHP basics. I know about Docker and other and Kubernetes. Is it called Kubernetes in English? I don't know. A little bit of prompt engineering, of course, because AI is the thing, right? And some automation tools. Yeah. it sounds stacked, but to be fair, an AI could do my job. I don't like. I just know, like okay. People who do everything coding via AI and they lack the principles of like what certain security standards should be, as well as like version controlling, because AI doesn't do that for you unless you specify it. I think this is a big deal, and even if AI can do all the work, you still have to understand in what kind of context you should be using it, because otherwise, if you're just lacking some fundamentals, it's not going to help the dev team. They're not going to understand what you wrote. You don't understand what you wrote, and there's just a lot of security problems in it. Part of my job is to fix security problems, and because people are just not doing it properly. So there are certain best practices that you should follow, which you don't just do by just giving random prompts to the AI and then have them prompt and then code everything out. And even they make a lot of mistakes. That's the typical, like that's what we have nowadays. The typical vibe coder is a dropped out college student trying to make something good, and then they are trying to make AI work and don't understand it and trying to sell it, and then it's not working. And then my job is to fix their problems. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it should be like 3 pages long. No, I think it's font size 10. It's very small, and I put it in the corner section of my CV, and then the rest is just experiences. I started physics, but I never finished physics, by the way. I did it for 3 years, and then I went over to studying more sales stuff, right? And then I eventually went back to not physics, but to computer stuff. So modern web dev plus I think, yeah, so the cloud computing and cybersecurity. Right now I am reading into more ways to optimize using the cloud. Yeah, because why not? It also helps me outsource or certain things. I think the basic, like the standard font size should be 12. But I don't know the standards. 14 is really big. But 12 is the regular size. 10 is really small. 10 is more smaller. And then 8 is very, very small. But you shouldn't be using 8. You only for like this little notes, information in the bottom corner. But I would say I think the most proud of my, like the most proud thing I am like of my CV is the fact that I am connected worldwide and I've had business partners worldwide, because it's a kind of experience that you just don't get a lot of oftentimes, because if you just work locally, then chances are you just work locally, right, in your own language. But I've coordinated with people from the West, from America to Japan, right? So literally in 12, 13 different time zones and everything. So I know how to work internationally, and I think that's the part that I'm really proud of when I would say and summarize my career in the last, like, I don't know, 10 years. Yeah, but I wouldn't say, I don't know, I wouldn't hire myself for certain things. I wouldn't say I'm a rather... I wouldn't say I'm lazy, because I am really working hard on things that I want to get done, but I would rather choose to work on things I want to work on, right? I don't like doing tasks that people tell me to do, and then I usually, if I find them boring, I automatically try to simplify the tasks or automate it. I think that's also part of the reason why I might get fired, because I was working on an auto dialer that just uses because back then it wasn't that long ago. We had auto dialing with using so we had I was in a call center like job where I had to call a lot back then during my sales arc. I had to call a lot of people, right? 150 to 200 a day. That's quite a lot. We were selling solar, and not only solar systems, also heating systems and stuff like that. And they needed us to manually call everyone. And it's like, it just takes forever. And then just let me call everyone, and then just take the calls that are actually where people are responding, right? So because not every call you make actually goes through. And then I try to also because there's a very strict script that we had to follow anyways. So I wanted to make a create a program that just speaks for me. I just thought about recording myself. That's how I started. I just started to record myself for because I was just asking them the same questions over and over again, right? And then have people answer. And like, I think because of that, my working, people notice, obviously, like I wasn't working, so because they can see the logs and everything, because I didn't click a lot, because I just let the auto dialer do things, and they notice it, and then I got fired. So that's what happened. And they didn't really want to release me, because it was like I had above average numbers, but it was very fluctuating. Some months very low performance, some months the highest performance in the company, so the next month lowest performance, the next month the highest performance. It was just like it was not a constant. So they called out on that. I was like, I guess I don't have fun in this job. And then they politely released me. And I think we came both to the conclusion that I should start something on my own, because I felt a little bit bored. So they released me off my contract. So that's how it happened. Then the whole YouTube arc started 2 years ago or something like that. Like, that's the whole point. Sales can be really rewarding, but it's a very different kind of mindset that you have to have in order to survive, or at least make ends meet. There are types, like there are two different kinds of sales job. The one where you're employed, you get your regular monthly pay, and then there are some jobs where you are paid by on commission, and you only make money when you deliver results, and then that is sometimes very difficult if you don't know what you're doing, of course. And then it really depends on whether they not only have a good onboarding system to teach you everything. Sometimes they don't. They just ask you, like, go get someone, talk to them, and sell to them what we have. And I don't know how you find the leads. You just go out and find the customers yourself, right? These kind of jobs are so stressful if you don't know what you're doing. It's really crazy. But the insurance works like that sometimes. Yeah. You should use one for the hidden text. Text like I love gambling. I think I should specify what kind of gambling, because if you talk about gambling in modern, people say you're addicted to like casino, right? So it's not the kind of gambling that we do. Actually, it's kind of the same. We get anime girls instead of money back. Yeah. What font do you use? It's just regular font. Something you can read. Arial. Is it called Arial in English? I think it's so. Like the standard one. My intern in last year was big on gambling. What did they do? What? You stole the blue archive font for your CV. Sure. I don't know if it looks cool. I mean, it probably looks cool, but it has to be readable though. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's readable. That's like, I don't know. You can do whatever to stand out. Some people put their profile pictures upside down to stand out. Just something to consider. Gambling is high reward. Okay, so they tried stuff. High risks. So they took chances. That's fair. If they can afford to take chances, why not? Oh wait, I have to go back to just chatting because we are just not doing darkness anymore. No. All right. I don't think there's much to say. I'm gonna end it here anyways, and this is also around the time that I want to end streams too, so it's 23:30 almost. That's a good 2.5 hours. I would like to keep it at that. And yeah. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. I also have to think about like what kind of thumbnail do I make for these live streams on this channel. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube saves them. Alright, I see you. Good night, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye, and thanks for being here. As always.